Alright. It's the last day of Funko's Virtual Con Spring 2021. And after seeing all 3 days, I think the second day is the strongest one. Some stinkers in day 3, but also a couple of cool ones. But yeah, not the most impressive set of reveals ever. First up from The Office, it's Dwight as Kerrigan. And honestly, I find this pop to be pretty hideous. It just looks like Dwight dressed up as John Travolta from Battlefield Earth, but in drag, with like little titties. Just a really revolting image. But if you're a fan of The Office and Dwight, you're probably gonna like this. I've only seen The Office one time through. Actually, not even through, because I stopped later on when Michael left. Because I was never really that into the series. I had actually watched the British version years and years and years before. So it had the same effect as those people that read a book and really love a book, and they can't get into the movie. It's like I saw the original Office. I acknowledge that the American version is pretty cool, but I just couldn't get into it. I could have sworn they had made the Deep already from The Boys, but I guess not, they made everybody else. And he looks alright. Doesn't exactly scream convention exclusive to me. I guess the only thing that ties him to ECCC is that he's green. What would have made this really cool though, is if Funko would have brought back chases for con exclusives. You could have had a chase for the Deep with his uniform open and exposing his gills. Would have been kind of a cool chase if you're like really into The Boys and this character. And I think incorporating a chase or two into the convention mix would really add some excitement, especially to some pops that may not be everybody's favorite. Like this Deep Funko Pop, I don't think this one's going to be super popular. This Diana with lizard face from V is really kind of visually interesting. I like it. I don't watch the show. Honestly, I thought this was an older show. I don't even know if it's still on the air. I don't know how many fans there are. Or, I know it says V there, but you can give this pop to your favorite conspiracy theorist, that believes in lizard people. Could be a good gag gift. I told myself I wasn't going to collect Eastbound and Down. I think the show is hilarious. But I did pre-order the Mariachi Kenny Powers, and I don't know. I don't want to get this one, but the sunglasses tan looks really good. It's very different than the Kenny Powers I already have. Yeah, I really like this one. Keeping with tradition, there's going to be some Scott Pilgrim items. A couple of sodas, Todd Ingram, Matthew Patel. They look pretty good. I'm not a soda collector. I'm surprised with how many they've made, so I'm guessing they're pretty popular with people. I wonder how much of it is fueled by people buying multiples to try to get a chase, or just people that really like sodas. What I really like from the Scott Pilgrim reveal, though, is the Kim Pine Pop. I wasn't able to get the 3-pack. That's still one of my grails. I really, really want that 3-pack. And I already have a bunch of Scott Pilgrim Pops. It's one of my most valuable and cherished collections. So I'm definitely going to try to get this Kim Pine. What I don't like about it, though, is the outfit they chose to put her in. It's when they became kind of corporate and were placing these snazzy matching shiny outfits. Not the version I would want, but it's still Kim Pine in a single pop box, so I want her. I think the Garbage Pail series really flies under the radar with a lot of collectors because they have some really incredible designs. I think the Atom Bomb is really cool, so I purchased it even though I'm not collecting Garbage Pail Kids. And Bony Tony is another one that I'm going to try to get purely because I think the design is excellent. The skull isn't just painted white, it's got a nice wash over it to make it look aged and gross and more realistic. I love the gray brain matter underneath. This thing is just overall really creepy, but it works because it's in a Funko Pop style. This pop in particular really highlights why I like Funko Pops. I was so little when I used to play Candyland that I remember playing Candyland, but I don't really remember Candyland.
Candy makes you dandy.
But I think the series is well designed. And my first instinct is to say that this Plummy Pop should be flocked. But after thinking about it and thinking about when I liked Candyland, I could actually see people buying this for their children. Because what Candyland toys are there, really? Besides the actual board game. So if this was flocked, it really couldn't be played with. Because, hair and dust get stuck to it. Not sure if it was Funko's intention or not, but I understand the decision to not make this one flocked. Even though to me it screams like it should be flocked from a collector standpoint. I think it's a nice addition for a Candyland set. It looks a lot different than all the other ones. Adds a nice burst of color. It makes sense to have this as an Emerald City Comic Con exclusive because of the green and it's not forced. Overall, pretty solid pop. Not sure how popular it's going to be. So if you have budget constraints the day of the virtual con, this one might not be too expensive later on down the road. Another Wonder Woman pop from one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. I feel like this is going to be the most unpopular pop of the entire con. Unless this is a secret very low numbered pop, you're going to find this one deeply discounted in the future. I just do not see a big demand for another Wonder Woman pop. There's already so many. There's nothing particularly cool about this one. And actually, I don't even like when they put crowns or anything that goes on the head in the pop's hands, because all of a sudden the dimensions are all off. I know it's a Funko Pop and the heads are huge and the bodies are small and the dimensions are off. I get that. But it reminds me of like when a science fiction or a fantasy movie sets up its own rules and then breaks them. Funko set up the rules that they have gigantic heads. And then all of a sudden when they're holding like their crown or their helmets in their hands, they're small. I know it would look dumb being all big in their hands, but I don't know. It just annoys me. And if I didn't bitch about what annoys me about Funko Pops, well, it wouldn't be a collecting plastic video. Now, these ones for DC are pretty cool. I'm not a big DC fanboy, so I'll admit I had never even heard of these. But once I looked up the characters, I thought they were really cool. I like the look of them, especially the Spectre. I think Deadman looks really cool as well. And I think they both have really interesting powers. After reading up on them, I just thought, like, why doesn't DC make a movie of this? I mean, if they want to make something really weird and out there, kind of like how Marvel does, choose these two characters. I really like the sculpt of the Spectre, though. On the surface, he kind of looks like a plain character. The costume is so old school that it kind of reminds me of like the Watchmen costumes, where they're intentionally trying to make him look old school. I mean, literally wearing like swashbuckler gloves and boots, his panties on the outside of a jumpsuit, and a cape and hood. I'm probably going to pick it up purely on the design, even though I had never heard of the character. It's just cool to me. And again, it's a green pop that's not forced, right? It's not like it's a green Wolverine or something that doesn't make sense. This guy is originally green. So very appropriate for the spring convention. I don't even collect Pokemon, and I am sick of seeing like the same 5 or 6 Pokemon done over and over and over again. This has got to be super, super annoying for Pokemon collectors. It's like, what do those collections look like now? Like the same 6 Pokemon, just a bunch of versions of each one of like the same mold? And it's a diamond collection. Like, I think if people want glitter pops, Funko should let them have like a fun little project to glitter their pops at home, because that's what these look like. They just look like somebody's art project and not a mass-produced collectible. I mean, if you're a Pokemon collector, would you have preferred these two in this diamond collection style or say metallic? Because honestly, I think the variant that makes the most sense, if you're going to make a variant of the common Pokemon molds, is metallic. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. Maybe some people are really excited about this, but I wouldn't be. Like, I would feel like now I'm just getting quadruple dipped. Here's Funko's official list of where these are going to be shared. This is for the United States. You can go on Funko's Twitter or Facebook or wherever, Instagram, and they have some other charts up for Europe and some other places if you want to go look. Expect a lot of people online. It's going to be frustrating. The cons usually are, so don't be surprised by that. You're not going to be able to get everything. This is just the nature of collecting Funko Pops. It's one of the reasons they go up in value is because of the high demand. And not everyone always gets what they want. So I wish you guys all good luck. And try to go for what you want the most and not what you think is going to be the most valuable. Because trust me, everybody's going to be going for what they think is the most valuable. And you might miss out on that and also miss out on what you really want because you were going for what's the most valuable. So just be careful not to play yourself. All right, guys, let me know in the comments below what you're getting this con, what you think were the worst reveals, and the best, of course, or anything else you'd like to say. Thanks for watching, and take it easy.
Abracadabra.